Hi everybody, I'm Jared Pike. This is Shell Point Today for Wednesday, March 26th. On today's show, we take a look back at the beautiful works displayed at the Shell Point Art Show. We'll also travel out to Shell Point's newest neighborhood, the Estuary, where construction will begin very soon. And we'll watch the brand new TV commercials that are helping to promote the estuary to the general public. Now, on yesterday's show, we mentioned that the new LifeQuest Aquatic Center is open for both swimming and for exercise classes. Now, as it turns out, there are also several new specialty aquasize classes which begin next week as part of the new Health Connection. For example, next Tuesday, April 1st, we begin Aqua Pilates Stretch, which, as you may guess, is an aquatic version of our land-based Pilates stretch class. This is all gentle movements, helping to improve your posture, balance, and strength. No swimming skills are needed, and you always have support available. Look for Aqua Pilates Stretch, taking place every Tuesday and Thursday at 1:30 p.m. And on April 7th, we begin a new up-tempo class called Aqua Agility and Conditioning. This is the perfect class for getting a cardiovascular workout, improving your strength, and having fun. Aqua Agility and Conditioning happens every Monday and Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Now, the best part about these classes is that you can pay as you go, so no sign-up is required. But if you do sign up in advance, you can save money by purchasing multiple sessions at a time. Now, of course, the Health Connection brochure isn't limited to exercise classes. We've planned a whole summer's worth of health classes, informative seminars about Medicare and other topics, and visits from local physicians. For more information or to sign up for any of these classes, call the Island Service Desk at 454-2282 or the Woodland Service Desk at 454-2054. Well, last week, we enjoyed the beauty of the annual Shell Point Art Show. From paintings to photographs, woodworking to jewelry, sculpture to ceramics, our Shell Point artists really outdid themselves this year. Here's what it looked like. If you missed out on the art show, don't worry. We've got 2 more shows coming up this season at Shell Point. The fashion show, which takes place this Friday at 12 o'clock in the church auditorium, and the photo show, which has an opening gala and awards ceremony on Tuesday, April 8th in the Resident Activity Center. Of course, beauty isn't limited to the physical arts. You can also see some pretty amazing pictures on television. Here's a good example.
There's just something nice about an old-fashioned front porch. For those of us who remember a simpler time, Shell Point is pleased to introduce the Estuary. The Estuary is nestled between the Championship 18-hole golf course, a quiet nature preserve, and an expansive lake. The Estuary presents a new level of lifestyle with single-family homes and villas designed with a nod to Southwest Florida's historic architectural past. Residents of the Estuary will enjoy a peaceful backdrop of natural scenery while having access to all of the active lifestyle opportunities available at Shell Point, combined with the assurance of quality life care. For those searching for a touch of Florida's enduring past while enjoying the present comforts and conveniences, the Estuary at Shell Point is the perfect choice. Come home to a simpler time. Discover the Estuary at Shell Point.
Kind of puts you in the right mood, doesn't it? That's one of 9 new television commercials now airing on local TV stations in Southwest Florida, starring my boss, Assistant Vice President of Marketing and Communications, Lynn Schneider. Many of these commercials highlight our new neighborhood, the Estuary. Here's another one.
Do you remember front porches, picket fences, and mossy tree-lined streets? At the Estuary, Shell Point's newest neighborhood, you can recapture that life well lived in a selection of old Florida-style homes and villas set against the expansive beauty of Shell Point's Championship golf course. A peaceful place with convenient access to Shell Point's resort lifestyle with the assurance of life care. Come home to a simpler time. Discover the Estuary at Shell Point.
You'll see these ads on shows like Wheel of Fortune, 60 Minutes, and the Evening News, to name a few. Now, speaking of the Estuary, we're also happy to report that the first 14 homes of the Estuary have been sold, which means Bob Southern and his team can now get to work building them. I sat down with Bob to find out what the area looks like now and what the construction timetable is at our newest neighborhood, the Estuary. Hi everybody, it's Jared Pike with Shell Point TV. With me is Bob Southern, Director of Project Development. We're talking about the Estuary. Now, Bob, the Estuary, Shell Point's newest neighborhood, is going to be located where? Let's describe where in Shell Point it is going to be.
Well, it is on the southern portion, basically, of the residential property that we have.
So in other words, if you went on Par Boulevard to go to the golf course or to Eagles Preserve, you've driven right by it.
You have driven right by it. And when you get to that big turn on Par, after you've just gotten on Par, you see all the development underway.
Now, what you can see here from the air is that there's a lake that's been dug. And what else has been done to prep the site for this potential neighborhood?
At the point that this image was taken, we have imported all of the fill that's needed for this site and or dug it out of that lake. Some of it came from the lake. A lot of it was imported from elsewhere. So the entire estuary is ready for construction both now and in the future.
Okay. And there was some drainage that had to be installed?
Yes, we have connected the new lake to the existing lake network that was in place around the estuary property along the golf course, which ultimately connects on the southern end to the big lake within the preserve that separates the estuary and the springs area. And if you look at the earlier renderings and drawings that we did of the estuary project, you can see that shape on there that looks very much like the shape that's in the field now of the lake that was intended to be there, that would be surrounded by homes. And that peninsula you see going out into the middle of the lake is where the future community center and swimming pool will be. So it will in essence be surrounded by this little lake out here.
So now that all the site prep is done, what's the next step for you guys? Because you are progressing with the construction.
Yes, and if you went out there today, you would see a lot of equipment out there and a lot more dirt piled up. We have been very busy in recent weeks installing the underground utility network that will serve the homes that are going to be on this site. So main water lines, main sanitary sewer lines, main irrigation lines are all in or in the process of being installed. We will soon be installing conduit for Florida Power and Light's services, Century Link's telephone services, for our fiber optic network. So there is a multitude of stuff that goes underground that you don't even see later, but provides all the infrastructure required for the people that will live there when the homes are constructed. The fire hydrants and all that will be a part of this infrastructure installation. The landscaping at the entry, the landscaping around the lake, and the landscaping when we construct the community building will all be a part of this infrastructure network we're establishing.
When do you break ground on the first house? When does vertical construction start?
Well, there's kind of like two phases for that. We're hoping to start construction on the first structure out there, which they're anticipating that it will be a preview home on lots 1 and 2, which are the first lot on the left, and that's a twin villa in early May. And then the first home that has been purchased will start in early June.
And then how long does it take to build a house?
Well, we're anticipating about 4 months to build a house, and one will start about every week and a half, and then we hope to finish one about every week once we get rolling. So a house will finish. Once the first one's done, then one every other week after that. And as long as sales are consistent, we will consistently turn over a house every week.
And it makes sense because you have the guys out there, the masons and the plumbers and the bricklayers and all that. You want those guys out there to be working.
That's the most efficient way to do it. If the homes have been sold and you can keep moving, that's the best way to go, because people don't have to leave and come back. You don't lose them off on other jobs. The timing works better that way. And we're just hoping that the sales are consistent and we can keep just rolling along.
Now, this has been in the planning for many, many years, decades, in fact. And what do you think now that we're starting to turn dirt and people are going to live here eventually?
Well, obviously we're excited to build. That's what we do in project development. We love to build stuff, and there is so much planning that goes on behind the scenes before we can get out there and do this kind of stuff, and just figuring out what you're going to build and where you're going to put it and how the community lays out, and then dealing with all the public utilities, the water and sewer people, and the Florida Power and Light and Century Link, and then just dealing with the Lee County addressing. What addresses can you put on the homes, and what makes the emergency services people happy so they can find the homes, and the post office you have to deal with, and how the mail is to be delivered. And so there are just many, many things that you have to work out as a part of a project before you can even do the first thing out there in regard to the building of it. But it's a challenging but interesting process, and you like to be a part of that from start to finish. And as with all the projects, when you see them start to come out of the ground and begin to finish, and people can see their new homes or their new offices or whatever it is you're building, it's a very satisfying time for you.
That's great. And we're thrilled to welcome residents of this new neighborhood, the Estuary, as it comes up out of the ground. And we'll keep you updated as to what to look for and all the new developments at the Estuary. So for Bob Southern, this is Jared Pike, Shell Point TV. If you know of someone who would be interested in the estuary, we'd welcome your suggestion. Just contact the Welcome Center at 466-1131. Or you can always tell your friends to visit www.shellpoint.org, where they can see all the pertinent information about the estuary, including prices and floor plans. Now, we turn our attention to Wednesday's happenings. Then, stay tuned for your Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me at the Happening segment of Shell Point TV. You're here with Leslie Brand, and I'm here to tell you all of the fun activities and programs going on today. We're going to start at 7:45 bright and early with men's Bible study in the Osprey room. 8 o'clock, men's match play doubles tennis at the tennis courts. 8:45, the Lily & Company Jewelers will be here for their weekly jewelry service in the Resident Activity Center. 9 o'clock, we have the Jurassic Travel in the Egret Room. Watercolor group with Phil Hilton at 9 o'clock in the Art Studio. 9:15, Scrapbooking group will meet in the Tarpon Room. 10 o'clock, Ladies Bible Study in the Osprey Room. Men's match play doubles tennis will be at 10 o'clock at the tennis courts at the Woodlands. 10:15, the Model Yacht Sailing Club will be at the Commons Lake. We have a Health Connection Specifics and Strength Training at 11:30 at the Health Club. That class is currently full. And for the afternoon activities, we'll start at 1 o'clock, chess in the Library Lounge on the island. 1:30, Model Train Room in the Train Room till 3:30 will be open for tours. 1:45, Health Connections, Balance and Mobility Training Level 1 in the Health Club. That class is currently full. Jazz and Stuff will meet at 2:30 in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands. Bible study at 3 o'clock in the Community Room at King's Crown. Also at 3 o'clock, we have a Health Connections Pilates Stretch in the Health Club. No sign-up required. 3 o'clock, Memory Care Group in the Behavioral Health Office in the Medical Center. Sign-up is required. 4:30, the Indoor Bocce at the Health Club. We'll jump to 5:45. The church choir rehearsal will be in the choir room of the Village Church. And we'll end the day today at 7:15, prayer and praise at the Village Church on the island. Thank you for joining me today of the Happening segment, and I hope you have a fabulous day.
Hi, I'm Terry Colath with your Academy information for Wednesday. Along with our art classes today, we have an Academy on the Go educational field trip. Court pickup begins on the island at 7:15 for those who have signed up to an enchanting day exploring Butterfly World. At 9:30, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain continues in the Sable Room of the Woodlands. And at 1 o'clock, so you've got Windows 8. Now, what are you going to do with it? We'll continue in the Computer Center at the Woodlands. Then at 1 o'clock, another art class, palette knife painting in the Sable Room of the Woodlands. At 1 o'clock, Intermediate Bridge continues in the Game Room of the Woodlands. And at 1:45, Flash Drive Prep School continues in the Computer Teaching Center on the island. Your brochure for the summer session of the Academy of Lifelong Learning should arrive in your mailbox on Wednesday, April 16th. Registration begins the next day online or at either service desk, April 17th. The first class is Monday, May 5th. The Academy session goes through July 31st, and I look forward to seeing you in an Academy class soon.
Menus for Wednesday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is roasted chicken with fresh green beans and baked sweet potato. The dinner special is the pasta buffet for $12.95, and the soup of the day is tortilla. In the Island Cafe for lunch, enjoy a grilled ham and Swiss on rye with fries for $7.25. The dinner special is fried shrimp for $8.25. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill on Wednesday are grilled pork chop for $15.95 or crab cakes for $16.95. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Hi, welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm Andy Hawkins, the senior pastor of the Village Church, and I'm here with Glenda Stephenson, our church administrator. And we're here to talk about Refresh and Renew, the project that we are engaged in to refresh our sanctuary, do all the renovations necessary to really bring the sanctuary up to date. And we're looking forward to that whole project. I think we are. It obviously involves a lot of adjustments, but let's talk about some of it. Glenda, you're very intimately involved with really all aspects of it. Let's start off with the finances. We started with a goal of?
Our goal was $1 million.
Okay, and how are we doing?
We are doing extraordinarily well. I'm so encouraged by that. As of this week, we're over $925,000. And a lot of that is already in our checking account. And so the rest is in commitments. We just have a little under $75,000 to go.
Well, that sounds terrific. I think we're going to. I think we can do it as well. So people have been very generous and responsive. Obviously, we still have a little bit of a gap to cover, but we trust as the Lord leads, we'll find those finances coming in.
Yeah, we're praying that last $75,000 will come easily and well.
That's right.
And we trust that it will.
Good. And let's talk a little bit about the scope of the renovation. Tell us a little bit about the kinds of projects or the different aspects of the project that we're looking forward to doing this summer.
One of the major pieces of the project is going to be some lighting and electrical updating. That building desperately needs that at this point, and so they'll be taking down the ceiling in the sanctuary. They'll be redoing some of the electrical work, adding lighting, changing the lighting, and it will be much more controllable. And I think we'll appreciate that when it comes to worship and other events there at the Village Church.
Yeah, we use that facility for so many things. In addition to church services, obviously, other kinds of activities in which greater house lighting would be valuable. And we're actually going to substantially increase the house lighting as a result of that project.
We are. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm sure residents will be very happy about that.
Yeah. And then a lot of cosmetic updating. It will involve paint. It will involve some accent treatments, some new carpet, chairs. The stage area will be redone. And so just a real lift to some of the appearance of our space. One of the things I'm also excited about is we'll be redoing the kitchen. We use that facility for so many events, and our kitchen is very substandard at this point, and so that's going to get a real nice upgrade as well, and I'm looking forward to that. We'll be doing the chapel, the hospitality room, doing some refreshment in the offices upstairs as well, so it's very comprehensive.
Now, if it's that comprehensive, obviously that means it's going to be a summer of adjustment, isn't it?
It will be. I've said the word for the summer is flexibility, because we are all going to just have to be flexible and work with things. It's really hard to schedule things rigidly because you don't know exactly how long every component of the project will take. And so we will be flexible. There may be some Sundays that we have to be flexible with where we hold service, but probably not many. We'll probably be a little bit more flexible with Wednesday night services and some of the other events that happen during the week so that we can just give them the green light to get to work and not have to stop, clean up, and all of that.
That's right. Now, the projected start date is May 1st, right? And obviously we'd like to see if we can get the project done, at least the bulk of it, during the off season, during the summer months. And that's why we want to make sure that the workers have really I think, a green light to work all the way through the week. And so their goal is always to try to finish a week's work up so that we can get back in there on Sundays. Occasionally there might not be a possibility to do that, but most of the time that's always the goal, right?
It is. And if there's an occasion where we have to be out for a week or 2 weeks, we will be communicating that in a number of different ways so people know what to expect.
That's right. And we would not have services. We would have services elsewhere and set those up accordingly.
We'll get creative.
Well, we will get creative, absolutely. Well, that's exciting. I'm looking forward to it, I think. I know it's going to be an adjustment on all of our parts, but at the same time, as we look down the road to recognize what the end result will be, I think it will be very satisfactory. I think not just the church, church, but the community at large will appreciate it because we do so many community events in this facility. So it's an exciting time, I think, and we're looking forward to it. And so thank you for sharing that with us, bringing us up to date, and periodically we'll involve some updates on the project, let you know what's happening, where we are financially, all those kinds of things. Probably every few weeks we'll give you an update as well on Refresh and Renew. Thank you for joining us here on Village Church Connections, and we hope to see you soon.
We're glad you joined us for today's show. Tune in tomorrow as we learn more about the special guests at next week's Women's Conference, The Women Who Dared to Believe. We'll also visit the model train room in the tunnel, which was recently featured on Fox 4's Morning News Show. Until then, this is Shell Point Today for Wednesday, March 26th. I'm Jared Pike, and from all of us here at Shell Point TV, we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.